I was in a freshman regular Algebra 1 class where I asked one of my veteran teachers if I could come observe her teaching. She's preparing for the EOC test, so she's utilizing technology and engaging lessons all the time. The teachers have set up a summit-style review month to get their students ready for the state assessment. They have come up with a sports theme where students are gaining yards for getting questions correct and various other positive things. The students were halfway into their class period when I came in and they were reviewing inequality symbols. She asked the students to get out their devices and to log into Kahoot. They seemed excited about this competitive activity. While they were logging on, she took that opportunity to ask them quick questions regarding slope, y-intercept, and similar things. She told them then that there was going to be 6 questions. The questions were very practical, asking about the inequality signs found on various real-world situations, such as street signs. The students did fairly well on these questions because they were asking things that they found in their lives and surroundings. Plus, the teacher had just reviewed with them the symbols. The students were engaged the entire time. Feelings. I really liked the way this teacher utilized her instructional time while asking her students review questions while they were waiting for the login screen for the Kahoot. I felt like the students were engaged and wanted to do well on the Kahoot. I felt that there was no awkwardness during the logging on process and the timing of the questions was very good. The practicality of the questions made me happy because these are regular students who don't see mathematics in their regular lives. They don't see the pertinence of math. So the students didn't seem to feel weird with me being there because there are always administrators in there watching since they are an accountable subject. And the teacher was also comfortable with me having me in there. Evaluation. I think this Kahoot game was a very engaging activity and the students were experiencing a lot of success. I think that the teacher did a good job at picking real-world problems that allowed the students to gather their prior knowledge. I also like that the teacher took advantage of each moment of classroom instruction while the students were logging on by asking them quick fact questions. The timing of the activity was very effective as well because the kids did not get bored with the questions. They were quick and effective. I also liked that she had the Kahoot in the middle of the class to perk up their engagement level. I think the students benefited from this review game and using the practice problems that the teacher did with the students after the Kahoot, they should be prepared for these questions on the EOC. Analysis. I think that these students were engaged with the atmosphere of the sports theme. I think they benefited from the Kahoot as a way to engage them as well as review. The teachers she was working very hard with the students to get them ready for the test. I wondered if she did Kahoots often because it seems like the students weren't overly impressed with the concept of the Kahoot game, but more like it was a common trend that happens every day. The students interacted well together during the Kahoot as well as they were talking about various other ways to distinguish between less than and greater than symbols, such as making an L with your finger. The students were engaged and the teacher was doing a very good job getting them prepared. I'm assuming that as she asked them practice problems once the Kahoot was over, I only saw a little bit of that part. I'm assuming that those questions turned towards a higher level of difficulty. Because I think that the teacher could have increased the rigor of the Kahoot questions a little bit as they continued on to truly gain an understanding. There were about 6 Kahoot questions and each ones were very simple and basic. And I think that if she increased them in rigor as she went, this would have been a good way to scaffold their learning a little bit more. I would love my teachers to be as engaging and focused as this teacher was. I would encourage my teachers at my campus to utilize several methods to chunk up their lessons to maintain their focus and engagement. As it was halfway into the class period, they had been doing various activities, and then she said, okay, let's do a Kahoot game to check how well you've been paying attention. And I think that that really helped chunk up the classroom and to keep them engaged and focused. Overall, this teacher did a very good job in her lesson. The students did benefit greatly from this lesson, and this is one of my best teachers. So.